little bit more detail, your background, and then we will go from there. Okay?
Yeah, please. Yeah, so um, myself Vipin, and I recently completed my PhD in internal combustion engines from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. And my research area is basically focused on internal combustion engines and the use of alternative fuels in the engines, and computational fluid dynamics based analysis of IC engine combustion processes. And in my PhD, I worked on an abnormal combustion phenomenon that is one of the biggest challenges in a hydrogen-based combustion engine, that is backfire. And I developed a technology also to rectify a backfire issue in the combustion engine, and got some of the awards also, IIT and conference.
And what is your next plan? I think you have sent something, but can you tell me about a little bit what were you planning? What are your plans and what happened?
Yeah, actually, last year when I submitted my thesis, so that time also I got to know about one of the offer from a Chinese university, the Shanghai Jiaotong University, and I applied that position. And in September, when the thesis and work was almost over, so I got that offer from the university. So I didn't apply anywhere else, and I was in thought of joining that, and I supposed to join in February. So, but somehow this corona and all,
Right.
so it got so currently, so then I applied in IIT Delhi for early doc fellowship, and I got it. So that was actually after PhD for 3 months.
Okay.
So like means up to January. So but after January, I was not having anything. So my professor told me to join one of the project.
Okay.
So it is a like BRICS project, that 5 countries and something.
Okay.
LC analysis, life cycle analysis of biofuels. So, but actually the post assigned was there. So it was SRF, like a senior research fellow. Basically master's level job. So he told me for time being you can join here.
How long that position would be?
Yeah, so it was research fellow, senior research fellow.
Right. How long it is for the position is there?
Yeah, actually, professor told me as long as you are in India or IIT Delhi, you can continue. It's like a 3-year project, and just now it started.
Okay, good. So you are working right now in that sense.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, and just one thing. Are you single or are you married, kids?
No, single.
Okay, let's go through your questions then. Okay, Vipin.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and as I said, I have some more time for you, so we will discuss some more things. So just relax. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in rush right now. My other call
Okay,
is
sure.
is after 2 hours, so I have time for you.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. So Vipin, let me tell you. So can you tell me what happened to this SJTU Shanghai University position? They said right now what they are saying, it's on hold or it's not there anymore.
No, it's on hold. So actually, recently I contacted professor also. Actually, they are in continuous contact with me. But actually, there means they already given me the work permit for to apply for visa and all these things. Because it got delayed, so it is going to expire in April now only 8. So they are telling they are trying to give me another one.
Okay.
So yeah, so it is there, but the issue is that I don't know how much time it will take to rectify this problem.
But do you know, irrespective of that, do you know there is a reason why you chose this university for postdoc? Why not to Europe or US or Canada?
Yeah, actually, I was just as soon as I was planning to submit my thesis, so I was looking for opportunities. It's an open position. So I was not intensely making university wise. So I just saw some open position was there, and I saw the profile and all, and then just got information from my colleague and all, the professors and all. So how is that university and group? So I got good feedback of that group. So I just applied, and
you got it.
I got.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's a postdoc position for how long?
Yeah, actually it is for 2 years.
2 years, okay. And do you know that what were your plans after that?
Yeah, actually, my plan is means I will be coming back to India in academy. That is actually my interest basically in academy. Coming back to India and
Okay,
join some academy.
join academy. Okay, okay, got it. So that is your long-term plan, basically.
Yeah,
Got it. Um, okay. So regarding this, your first question about about the situation, I think the way I'm seeing it, even just from the coronavirus perspective, the situation I think in China, as as far as what they are, the media is saying from there is getting better, and the situation in US and Europe is getting more worse. So I'm not sure that if you gonna apply to US now or to Europe now, you will receive any feedback. What I'm saying is, I think your best bet right now is to keep in touch with your Chinese counterpart and tell them that when you can join, because my feeling is that the situation there is going to be fine maximum in a month, and if you are allowed to fly from India you can join it,
mhm,
but the situation in Europe and in US may last much more than that.
exactly. Okay.
So my point here is that, of course, when I say all these things, it doesn't mean you can't apply. But my feeling is that because the situation in China is on the downhill right now, but everywhere is going up, and
Mhm. Yeah.
as I said, unless and until you are allowed to fly from India, and the Chinese government allow you to come in, because right now they have restricted travel to foreign citizen, because now the problem
Correct.
is reverse. I heard like the people that are coming from
Yeah.
outside are creating more trouble.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
as far
Correct.
as that situation is not there, the chances that you will join that university in China is much higher, because here the situation can last till August, September before
Mhm.
anything
Okay.
could comes in. If you are planning that I should look for a postdoc in Europe or in US, I would say that that is a separate question. If I was you, and if my long-term plan was to do a was to become a was to come back to India and become a professor, things like that, I will definitely look to the universities in Europe and US for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So my what I'm saying that your best bet right now is to apply for you can apply to US and European universities, but I think for you to join immediate, if there is will be immediate joining, that will happen in China, because as I said, the situation here
Mhm.
is already in a bad situation, so I don't think
Okay.
anything will happen here. But I think what you have to understand is you have this offer from Chinese university, and I think if you want to come back and become a professor in India, just make sure that that is the right place to go, and then you can come back and find a job.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that is your question number second. What about China factor for postdoc, as I will come back to India for join academia? The Chinese group is very famous in my research area, IC engine. So that's what I'm saying. That's what you need to think, because you are in already in IIT Delhi. I think you
Yeah.
should see around your university or in NIITs or even your undergrad university, how many people are there who have done their postdoc from China and has come back and got an offer from Indian university, versus how many students are there who had gone back to Europe and US and come back after doing their postdoc and got a job.
Mhm. Yeah. Got it.
Do you understand?
Mhm.
So you can do that
Yeah.
evaluation, and so that is the reason I'm saying I'm not sure. Again, it also depends on the group also. I will definitely agree to that, but just make sure that you are making that right decision, because after 2 years then you will have another problem. Okay.
Mhm.
And you have any question on that?
Yeah, so basically means you already told that I need to check, that how many people got and all these things, the details.
Yeah, yeah. See, you can just get you can get a good idea, right? Because your ultimate goal is to become a professor in India. Not your goal is not to do a
Mhm.
postdoc in China. I think that's what you
Mhm.
need to look at. Okay, if I'm going to do a 2 year postdoc there and I'm going to come back, what is are my chances to become a professor in India? Whether that is the right thing to do, or the right thing to do is to do a postdoc from Europe or UK or from Japan or from US or from Canada.
Mhm.
Okay.
No. Mhm.
Number three, the China Group requirement international postdoc fellowship in a prestigious 30. Okay, blah blah. In that fellowship, I have to write a result. I wrote the proposal on the basis of my research experience. So I am doubt that it will be getting a new skill or knowledge. What should I expect? Okay, see, one thing also you have to understand, I think, I have very limited experience because I have worked in Japan for a few months.
Right.
The and this is very true for I think China, because I had so many friends that are from there, and they are working in China. China, Japan, Korea, postdoc has no freedom.
Mhm.
You are supposed to do what your professor tells you.
Mhm.
Even assistant professors there have no freedom. The assistant professors are actually a postdoc basically, or a higher post or senior postdoc if I say. They had very less, very limited freedom to what do to explore their mind and do what they want. I think that is one of the reason I was telling you. I think in that terms, I think the Western countries allows you little bit much more freedom.
Mhm. Okay.
But
Mhm.
again, it totally depends on the advisor also. But my guess would be is when you go there, the expectation would be is you will do what the professor will told you very strictly. I think it is much. I mean, my experience from Japan is like that. That you have to do what professor is telling you straight away. There is no question asked. Actually, I found it actually much worse than Indian universities actually. I mean, I was from Banaras Hindu University. I how the professor and student work there, but the experience in Japan was totally different. Although I was not a postdoc, but I can see the postdoc and the assistant professors over there are on the mercy of a professor. So you do what the professor is telling you most of the time, unless and until the professor is really good. But the culture I'm talking about is like that.
Okay.
So when
Mhm.
once you go there, you have to keep that in your mind. I think that you will do what the professor are supposed to tell you, rather than apply your own brain and try to do something different. That is my biggest concern about doing going back and doing anything at Asian countries is like you don't get that freedom.
Mhm.
So just
Right.
keep that in mind, yeah. And you said as my research work is applied, I have some seniors in automotive industry academy. Okay, so I think you are trying to say what are your scope in applying to industry. I think that's what your question, right?
No, actually, the question is regarding, like this time I'm working as a research fellow, senior research fellow.
Uh-huh.
So this experience, as I told that, it is not for PhD. So I'm just, basically filling the gap kind of thing.
Yeah, right, right.
So in case,